The Spirit Award recognizes a first-generation immigrant who has demonstrated a lifelong commitment to professional, business excellence, and altruistic pursuits. Nominees' accomplishments and contributions have broad and substantial positive impact on the immigrant and larger community.
Thanks, Janae, and thanks everybody for being here. I think they've had 11 of these. I think I've been to at least 9. And we used to have them at Drake, remember? And they were a much smaller room. So this is great. Everybody's here. My good friend, and I say that meaning what it sounds like. My good friend Charles Schneider is Senate President right now, the Iowa Senate, and I know he would share with me the sentiment that it is we take it very seriously, and we value our new Iowans and our immigrant population here very, very much. And there's many of us working very hard, diligently, to make this community and all communities across Iowa more welcoming to new immigrants and new Iowans. We really see all of us together as being our future. I think government at its best, I hope you'll agree, protects us in a way, police, fire, rescue, but also helps us. And we are the government. All of us together are the government, and we all work together, come together to help each other by roads and other safety net issues and so forth. But I think the other thing that we do is try to help people be successful. At least we should try to at our best. And I can tell you about I was at a conference, a women's conference a couple weeks ago, and the subject, I was on a panel, and the subject was, is it important to have male allies for women? As a male, I was hoping the answer was yes to that. And I have 3 very good friends that are women, and 2 of them are executives here in Des Moines, and one has her own business. And I asked them that question: do you think it's important to have male allies? And they said different things, but the common theme here was what we all know, I think, and that is that it's really important for all of us to have allies. It's important for all of us to have friends, to have mentors, to have people that have our back and support us, tell us when we're wrong, tell us when we're right, and encourage us. And I think the 3 recipients here that we've had so far would testify to that, how important it is to have that. So the Immigrant Spirit Award is an award that it exemplifies this very much, and that's the one we like to sponsor every year, is that award. And the award winner this time is Rowena Crosbie, and she has also exemplified this. In her business, she is in business of developing people and helping them develop into successful folks. So very much a worthy recipient of the Immigrant Spirit Award. So with that, I'd like to direct you to the video.
The oldest of 3 children, Rowena Crosbie was born and raised in a close-knit family in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. She moved to the United States in 1990 when she accepted a 3-year assignment with Garst Seed Company and made Iowa her home when she married her husband, Ted. Tero International began as a private consulting business a year later so that Row would have greater flexibility in her schedule when her stepson, John, came to live with them.
I never thought of myself as an entrepreneur, though. It was truly a small business. It was a private consulting business. I started it in a spare bedroom in this house that we're sitting in right now with the $200 that the bank required to open up a business account. And I ran it as a private consulting business for 5 years. And at that point decided to grow it. And I think it was sometime after that I thought of myself as an entrepreneur.
Tero International grew steadily in both size and scope and quickly became the premier research and corporate training company that delivers meaningful results from proprietary curriculum based on robust research and measurement.
She has a real emphasis on learning. And the curriculum, the research that we do, all of what we do at Tero is to help people change their behavior so they can affect their work life more positively, be it in the way they lead or in the way they work with their team or the way they present themselves at a networking function.
What she has are the skills, the lessons, all of those invisible, seemingly intangible assets that she can add to a young person, but which in the end, when they absorb it, they become so much more than when they began.
With poise and polish, she delivers authentic, decisive, and wise counsel in her business, as well as community and philanthropic endeavors. Masterful at harnessing the potential of her clients, she applies that same magic to bring out the best in everyone on the Tero team.
I liked Rose. She made me feel so special. She listened to me. And she knew right away that I could bring something to Tero International. She made me feel so important. And she valued what I had. And I was just amazed by her patience, persistence, and that's what I really like about Tero.
She doesn't see any sort of boundaries on things. She always tries to shoot for the stars, and it's almost kind of like when you're growing up and you're a child and you have this imagination about things and there's endless possibilities. You see that in her still. She always just has some amazing imagination for how the business should be, just the education side of things. I mean, really anything that she talks about, she brings it to the 10th level, and it's awesome to hear, and that's how I'm really changing my perspective on how I approach things as well.
As an immigrant, Ro understands the unique challenges of navigating a foreign environment. In her 16-year journey to naturalization, she developed a profound appreciation for the rights and responsibilities of being a U.S. citizen.
One of the real traits that makes Rowena great is the fact that she's an immigrant. Rowena has been able to come to the United States, identify the culture that is here, and then to be able to design a series of solutions for businesses that are worried about leadership and to be able to deliver that successfully to them.
What I notice about that can-do spirit, I think when someone does go live in another country, is they're already putting themselves out there for many new experiences. And I think how that's reflected in Tero is that Ro always believes we can do what it is we set out to do, and nothing's going to get in our way and nothing's going to stop us.
Whether they've known her 3 months, 3 years, or 3 decades, all who have been touched by Ro's warmth and wisdom feel enriched and inspired.
She's a model for young professionals and especially for young women. I was going to say to my daughter, to my interns here at the World Food Prize, who should I follow? Who should I emulate? One of those persons would always be Rowena Crosbie. She's someone who is effective business manager. She's someone who culturally is open and welcoming. And third, in all that she does as a person, she's a role model for others to follow and emulate.
These reverently nurtured relationships with family, friends, and colleagues make up Ro's patchwork of family, lovingly stitched together perfectly. She is most grateful for her life with Ted and John. With unadulterated love and wonder, she slipped into the role of grandparent like she was purposed for it when John got married and started a family. When Ted passed away unexpectedly 2 years ago, they rallied around her to support, bolster, and help ease the shocking grief of loving deeply and losing too soon. While unimaginable sorrow accompanies that loss, Ro has no regrets and honors their relationship by continuing to live and find joy.
The lessons from the losses in our life, I think we all probably are a work in progress on that. The passing of my husband, since it was only a couple of years ago, is still something that's very fresh with me. And I'm continuing to process it. There's always a silver lining in our grief, and I believe the outpouring of love and support from friends, from family, has been so heartwarming and so comforting for me. I think it's also made me a more compassionate person, and that's something I'm extremely grateful for.
For her astute leadership, boundless generosity, and gracious humility, as well as her dedication to cultivating effective, confident, authentic professionals who become earnest, engaged, and thoughtful leaders in every sector of society, Rowena Crosbie is the recipient of the 2018 Immigrant Spirit Award.
Presenting the award today will be Carlos Rios, the 2013 Spirit Award winner.
And thanks to all of you for being here. My congratulations to Asai, Robbie, and Neil on their awards as well. I am extremely honored to receive this award. We're here together at the Immigrant Entrepreneurial Summit because one or both of those words have meaning for us, immigrant and entrepreneur, and actually both of those words are central to what my identity is, and so I'd like to tell you why. So I am an immigrant. You heard about that on the video. I came here in 1990 for a job. I stayed for a relationship. And then when I started my business in 1993, that gave me deeper roots. And as you also heard in the video, my husband Ted passed unexpectedly in 2016. And I was asked a question quite frequently that most widows aren't asked. I suspect some immigrants are, though. The question was, will you return to Canada? And it's an understandable question. After all, I am the only member of my family that moved here. And I was dealing with the heartbreak of the till death do us part reality that I was then living with. And during those early days, I was in a complete fog. But that question, will you return to Canada, did not require any thought. This is my home. And I have this community and my Iowa friends and family to thank for that. This community welcomed me as a new immigrant. It supported me as I built my business and as I found my role in community service. It helped me celebrate the life and mourn the passing of my husband. My Iowa family and friends, there aren't words to describe how much they mean to me. Many of them are here. I kind of brag on the little ones. They've been very well behaved. So. My kids, John and Kelly, and their kids, my grandkids, Maddie and Jack. Hi, Maddie and Jack. You've been so good today. And so many of my other friends and family, many of whom are here, I thank you for being here today, and thank you for being with me always. The second word is entrepreneur, and as you've already heard, based on these previous summits, there were over 1,300 new business starts because of this. That means there's going to be over 100 as a result of this summit. And I don't know who you are who are going to start these businesses in the next year, but I do have a message for you. Follow your dreams, believe in yourself, embrace the learning at this conference, every moment of it. It has been designed especially for you. Tap the network of people who are here to support you, and please know we are all rooting for you. And as it turns out, I'm one of the elder entrepreneurs in the room. Please know I am inspired by all of you, and I look forward to watching and celebrating your success in the future. Thank you.